Let's get into some more of these relationship problems. Man, the stuff that I read when I skim this is crazy. I really feel for a lot of you guys and the things you go through. So a lot of stuff isn't normal. I'm throwing out there. A lot of stuff is not normal. First one, let's start. Let's get into it. Am I the asshole for refusing to move in with my boyfriend because he insists his mom has to live with us? I, 28 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 30 male, for almost 3 years. Things have been mostly good, and I thought we were ready to take the next step and move in together. When we finally started talking about apartments, he casually drops that his mom, 55 female, will be moving in with us. Not temporarily, not just for a few months, full time. Here's the thing, his mom and I get along okay, but she's involved. Like, she'll make comments about how I don't fold laundry right, or how her son deserves homemade meals every night. Once, when I stayed over, she actually rearranged my overnight bag because she thought it was too messy. I asked him why she would need to live with us, and she's healthy, has a stable job, already has her own apartment. His response, it just feels right. Family comes first. Plus, she'd help us out around the house. I don't agree with this. Now, if you have to take care of a family member, I understand different circumstances. There are things you need to do. That's the right thing to do. However, when you are starting a family, which is if you're in a relationship for a period of time and then you're moving in together, that's the beginning stages of starting a family. You need to build your own family. Your family becomes separated from your parents. Your kids now have grandparents. You have built your own new family. That comes first over everything. All right. That is how that works. I am not talking about the crazy things that happen where health issues and this and that. If your family is healthy, has a job, is all good, let your mom go have her life. This sounds like an extreme mama's boy without even getting to the rest of this. When I told him I wasn't comfortable with that arrangement, he blew up and said I was being disrespectful to his mom and that I knew how important she was to him and that if I really wanted a future with him, I should accept the package deal. I'm already on her side. I don't think this should be the case. It is like the amount of your life changes so much, right? When you move in with somebody, there's a lot going on. Throwing in a third person of any kind is a really big deal. When it's a third person who's a full-grown adult and thinks that they have any say or any right to say anything about the relationship you're going through, that's a whole nother just ball game. You're bringing in all these new problems. I agree with you right now that I would not want to move in with my significant other if there was going to be a third person involved that wasn't like a child that I already knew was going to be a package deal, right? If I don't want this friend or mother or dad or somebody that shouldn't be there being there. It makes things very, very hard. I'll just leave it at that. To make matters worse, his mom already acts like it's decided. She's been sending me Pinterest boards of decor ideas for our house. This is like a bad sitcom episode. And told me she's taking the biggest bedroom after us because she needs space for her prayer corner. Yeah, there's no way. Nope. No way. 0% chance. I told my boyfriend flat out that I won't move in if she's part of the deal. But good for you. Honestly, really good for you. And now he's sulking and saying I'm making him choose between two women he loves most. You're building a new family. Your wife now becomes number one. You've made that choice. That does not mean you neglect your other family members, your mom, but you need to move on. It is time for you to move on, dude. That doesn't mean lose your relationship. I talk to my parents all the time. My wife talks to my mom more than I do, but I talk to my parents multiple times a week. Just throw it out there. If you do things correctly and in a healthy way, things will build. If people are handling it correctly, things will build. This mom already saying like she's choosing which room she's going to get. She's choosing the decor. No. You need to realize you're entering their space as the mom in this situation. And if they're going to let you stay with them, you know, make yourself comfortable, but you're not making these choices. You're not overtaking these things. He said, all right, let's go back. His friends think I'm heartless. There's no way. My friends think I'm dodging a bullet. I agree with your friends. Your boyfriend sounds like he has some serious mom issues. I'm going to be honest. Some crazy underlying mother issues. So Reddit, am I the asshole for refusing to live with my boyfriend and his mother? Because honestly, I'm starting to wonder if I'm dating him or both of them. Nah, It's a hard lesson because it seems like you were ready to make the next step. This guy sounds like he's probably still in some crazy early stages of his mental development. I'm going to be honest. He's got some other issues going on. I would avoid it. Maybe in some perfect world, you separate, you aren't together anymore. He grows up a little bit and he comes back and realizes it. I wouldn't bank on that. It's possible. I would hope that I would really, really hope for that. The top comment, the good news is that when you dump him, you still have your own place. I'm glad she made this post. I'm hoping she realizes she is in the right mental space. Leave him. Do not move in together. It sucks, but you figured it out before it was too late. That's a good thing. Like, genuinely, it's a good thing. This is one of those stories that can actually have a pretty good outcome without a lot of bad coming from it. A lot of the time, you read these stories and it's a little too late, or you put in a little too much time. Next one. Am I the asshole for not accommodating my husband's desire to sleep in on weekends? I want to note this. The Redditor, whoever posted this, deleted their account. Their account is gone. My husband and I have 2 kids under 2. For background information, I work half-time, home with the kids the other times, and my husband works full-time and goes to school part-time, 2 evenings after work. My husband usually goes out with friends twice a week, once during the day, once at night, where he gets home late, usually on a Friday or a Saturday. I have 1 evening during the week where I go to a class for my hobby, gone about 2 hours including drive time. My parents watch our kids during this time since my husband is at school. This sounds like you both have a lot going on. Like, you're working, but you're also taking care of your kids. Your husband's got the work and school, still wants time to himself. What I'm wondering, without getting further in, is when you spend time together. Because you're saying your husband gets time off, but you two don't go out. I know personally, like, I'm in a similar situation. I have 2 kids. My wife works full-time job. I work full-time. When we have free time, it's almost always together. That doesn't mean we don't have our own, I'll go out and hang out with a friend for lunch or something, or my wife goes and gets her nails done and stuff. Like, we do our own things. But if we're taking time, or our kids are going to stay with our parents, we're together. We want to be together, this isn't giving that right now, which is confusing to me. Both kids are usually up by 6:30 every day, including weekends. I am almost always the one to get up with them. My husband maybe gets up with them once every couple of months. If I'm super tired, I don't mind getting up with the kids so my husband can sleep in. I'm in a kind of similar boat. I work from 7:30 whenever the kids go to bed. I work from then until like 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. And then I also try to do stuff during the day when the kids aren't home. They're daycare. And my wife usually does wake up with them. It's more because that's the schedule where she goes to bed early and wakes up early, and I don't. But I also, if she needs me to, I wake up. So I feel like that's kind of maybe not normal. It depends on how. It seems kind of normal. I don't know. There's a lot going on here. However, lately he's been getting very angry at me because the kids are waking him up when they get up. Our bedroom is fairly detached from the rest of the house. However, it's closest to where the downstairs bathroom is, as well as the family room where the kids' toys are. He told me that I am being inconsiderate and need to keep them out of both of those areas until he wakes up, usually around 9 to 10, but sometimes later. He also said I should not let the kids yell or cry. All right, well, that sounds crazy. The end of that specifically, that's an insane request, and any adult making that request is not being reasonable. I've offered to keep the kids quiet as best I can until 8 and keep them out of those areas. When my husband said that was not good enough, I told him he is being ridiculous and that if he wants to sleep uninterrupted, he needs to wear earplugs or go to the guest room, which is more isolated than our room is. Or he needs to go to bed earlier or maybe skip out on his guys' night if he is exhausted from the week. But I'm not going to tiptoe around my house for potentially hours to accommodate. All right. Yeah. There's so much more going on here. I can tell. I like to read the top comment. And he's a fucking parent. Kids are noisy. What part of that does he not understand? He's choosing to go out and then demanding these things is not realistic, and you shouldn't accept that. The fact that he said don't yell or cry is really the telling part of this entire paragraph or entire story. That's not a thing that any one person is going to control, even in like public. If you get mad when you hear kids crying and things, I'm going to be honest, if you're like silently judging the parenting going on, I kind of understand that response. I don't think it's right, but I get that. But if you're like saying this out loud is crazy. Like truly thinking that a parent is going to stop a kid from crying 24/7 or yelling when they're playing and having fun is insane. Then you top it all off by letting you know, or you let us know that he's going out on Friday by choice, going out late, not getting home at a good time, and then mad when he gets to wake up early because kids are waking up. That there could be more to it. There's always two sides to these stories, but he does not sound like a good parent. Doesn't sound like he understands what's going on. Probably doesn't have a good connection with the kids or spend much time with the kids. Kind of seems like he doesn't feel the need to be around them. I don't understand this. I realize that not all parents are good parents and not all people are meant to be parents. For me personally, I don't like spending time away from my kids or my wife when I don't have to. So when it's work stuff, for me, I get it. Or I had to go on a trip for work, I'm understanding. It doesn't bug me. But if I'm choosing or I'm working extra for some reason, I don't like it. I hate the time away from my kids. I obviously, if I told you, I go to bed really late, so I wake up a little bit later, honestly around that 10 o'clock time that this guy wakes up. But that's because I'm working. And even then, if my kids wake me up, like it's kind of exciting and fun. And if it's really a big deal, I can always go back to sleep. This is just a horrible take for any dad or parent. It's kind of sad. Like all the comments are like, these are his kids too. Yeah. It seems like he really doesn't take care of them at all. I don't know what you could do with that. You could see if he wants to do some kind of therapy or just talk to him. Maybe it'll resonate. Doesn't seem like it will. It seems like he's just not a good parent. And I think that's one big choice that you need to make when you are finding your significant other. There's a deeper level than like, this is my best friend. This is who I want to spend the rest of my life with. You have to ask yourself, is this person who I imagine raising kids with me or being like, is this the perfect person to raise my kids? For me, I get asked this the other day. A friend of mine, we were driving home. He's like, I have so many questions for you because he's in a serious relationship now. And I've been married for 7 years. I've been with my wife for 14, 15 years. That's going to sound bad, but whatever. And one of the things he was asking was, when did you know and how did you know you wanted to marry her? And I knew right away that she would be the perfect mother. She would be the perfect person to be a mother. And I told him that within the first year, I knew I was going to marry her. But the first thing I noticed, outside of us becoming best friends and everything else, when we spend all of our time together, was I knew she was insanely good with kids. It would be the perfect mother. So that should be one of the things that you process when deciding who you're going to marry, in my opinion. Next one. Am I the asshole for wanting my husband to split the bills evenly instead of just paying his share of the overage? I, 40 female, have been married to my husband, 48 male, for 2.5 years. In April 2023, his adult son, now 25, moved in with my daughter, 12 female, and me. Then in August of the same year, his 17-year-old twins also moved in, along with my husband and self. So now it's me, my daughter, my husband, and his 3 kids all living in my house. Kids. 25, if he's paying his way and like saving up to buy the house or something, I get it, move out. The 17-year-olds, I understand. I mean, we don't know the circumstances. Since moving in, my husband has only paid 2 water bills, maybe around $500 total. I pay the mortgage, electric, internet, water, sewer. Aside from those 2 bills he covered, I've been struggling financially, and for the first time in 13 years, I was late on my mortgage. Oh, no. No. This is crazy, because this is insane. I understand that a lot of people don't believe in like traditional marriage, like guy pays for things, woman makes food, whatever, but any self-respecting guy is going to instantly want to pay more than his share in that. Like, you're gonna want to be putting in and being a part of this as a normal male. I could not imagine doing anything in my life where I'm just getting stuff for free and in my head I'm not paying for it. I'm not doing something to earn it, or just like paying my way. There's no world, like anything in life, let alone my wife whose house I'm living. Like, this is crazy. I've asked him multiple times to help with bills, but nothing changes. That's also just insane to me that anyone, especially your husband, is doing that. Meanwhile, before he moved in, he sold his house in another state and made about $60,000 profit. Instead of putting that towards our life together, he spent at least $30K as a down payment on a C8 Corvette. I have a C8 Corvette, so this is crazy. This sounds like a really horrible person to be married to. Just a horrible person in general. I recently told him I needed help with the mortgage. His response was, I don't have that money right now. No, there's no way. This dude has 0 bills and his kids are living with him, so he shouldn't be paying. I mean, they're also old, so it's not like he's paying child support. What? I don't understand. So once again, the payment is late. When I brought up splitting bills fairly, his idea was that he should only pay for the extra his family adds. For example, if the electric bill was normally $255 and this month it's $260, he thinks his responsibility is just $5 difference. Nothing towards the base cost. He also doesn't think he should pay any of the mortgage since that amount has always been the same. Excuse me? Hello? All right. This is not a relationship. You're being used 100%. He married you to use you. There's no one in the world that I respect in the slightest that I would treat like this, let alone my wife. This is a extreme, I wouldn't even say it's response, extreme lack of response from your husband here. This is crazy. You are not crazy. You are definitely not the asshole. You have a piece of shit husband. I don't think this is fair. It's me and my daughter, plus him and his 3 kids. That's 4 people in the house who aren't mine. Why should I be covering the majority when I'm already stretched so thin, especially while my husband has a 2020 C8 Corvette, a C4 Corvette, a boat, and a Ducati? We did talk about finances before we moved in. He was going to cover all of the upgrades on the house while I paid the necessities, but he hasn't done any of that, and I'm still paying. His money gets to go where he wants. So am I the asshole for expecting him to split bills evenly instead of... No, he should be paying for more than splitting bills. When it was just him moving in with you and your daughter, that should have been splitting the bills. Then when his son came in, he should have taken on more. And then when his other kids came in, he should have taken on even more. If him having the car is the reason he can't pay for anything, he should have never got that car. That means he's terrible with finances. So you definitely don't want him to run your finances. If he loved you at all, this would not even be an argument for you. You never would have had this made this Reddit post. You have a horrible person for a husband. I don't know how so many of you end up in these situations, because it seems like you process that if you were in his shoes, you would have been paying half at least. But you married somebody that has no clue what's going on. So I'm not like, he is the asshole here. He is a piece of shit, terrible human being. Like I said, I couldn't imagine doing this to like an acquaintance, let alone someone I married. But you also married him. So did none of this come up beforehand? Was there red flags and you ignored them for some reason? You guys gotta stop ignoring red flags. Like, if something seems off, it is off, okay? Your gut is telling you, or something is gonna tell you, hey, this is wrong. There had been so much leading into this where this guy was just a bad person. Top comment is tell him to sell his cars. Yeah, there's no way. The next comment is divide the utilities by 6 and he pays, his fourth of the six. Like, there's no world that this should be happening. I don't understand this. If your friends are telling you otherwise or family members are telling you otherwise, they're insane. You honestly are probably gonna have to end up getting a divorce, which is really, really sad because that's not what you want. I don't want that for other people, but this is rough. Another comment was, why are you with him if he doesn't enhance your life? That's insanely, bringing someone else into your life, it has its struggles, right? You're gonna go through your ups and downs. You're gonna have problems, arguments, whatever, disagreements. You're going to have some problems, but there should be way more good than problems. And from what you're saying here, it seems like he just makes you pay for everything and doesn't care and mainly uses you to take care of his family. Just gonna throw that out there. Please, please, please divorce this person and go next. Alrighty, another one. Am I the asshole by telling my spouse what I don't want to receive on my birthday? My 40-ish male birthday, 40-ish male, wait, what? My 40-ish male birthday is coming up. My spouse, 50-ish male, has a habit of surprising me with something on my birthday, which is nice, of course. But in the past years, he has gifted me board games and statues of my favorite comic book character while I explicitly told him I do not want either of those things. Reasons: we have plenty of games we still have to play and we're running out of space to display figurines. I think that's fair. I mean, if you're not being rude about how you're doing it, if you're like, hey, like, I appreciate you getting me anything, but can we not do this? Like, I don't think that's a problem. That's a really normal way to handle things. Last year, he gifted me a figurine anyway. It was a nice figurine and I liked it. However, I also told him I'd rather have gotten something else instead. Today, he asked me what I thought about a specific board game he thinks I would like to get for my birthday. So he's just ignoring you. So either he thinks you're just being like casual about it, like, oh, you don't need to give me that stuff, or he doesn't care. You really need to figure out which one it is. If he doesn't care, this is another this is not a good relationship, because if someone tells you something, you should be able to listen to it and process it. There is the chance that he's like thinking you are just trying to be nice and like, oh, don't get me that type of thing. But in reality, he's not processing it. He's processing it as, oh, he's just saying that. He still wants it. I told him I don't want it. It's a board game I'm not interested in. I just don't want any more board games. He's angry now and calling me very ungrateful and impossible to find gifts for. He's done with this shit. He told me I should just make a grocery list with stuff I want. Then I do have a wish list, by the way. So am I the asshole? No. I'm gonna bet that the way this is written up is catering more towards the person writing this than the person who didn't. That response doesn't seem like a first time response. Like maybe the conversation isn't going as smoothly as we hope it is. I think it's fine to not want gifts and tell your significant other, hey, like, I don't want these type of gifts. I'll make a list. Like, really, a list is normal, I feel like. It gets to a point over time. There's so many holidays and things you buy stuff for people. It does become hard to buy gifts for people. Having a list of options, or at least a list that gives you an idea of options, is nice and should be accepted. There's no world that somebody should be buying you stuff that when you're like, I don't want it, and you're giving them a list. That's strange to me. I don't think you're the asshole. I do think there's probably more to the story, and maybe you could end up being the asshole. From this base of the story, you're not the asshole. But honestly, I don't know that your husband is, your spouse is either, because that response doesn't match what you guys are talking about, and seems like there's more that went on. And the first response might have matched more and definitely would have made him the asshole, is where I'm going with this, what I'm guessing. Last one. My boyfriend has a kink and I'm not into it. TLDR, I female 20 and my boyfriend male 20 have been dating for just about 2 years. To cut to the chase, he is into feederism and bloating and I am not. I've never heard of this. Not once. I am a smaller girl. I wear a size 4. And when he told me about this, I said I am uncomfortable as it bleeds into daily life. If I am full from dinner and I say I'm full or I'm bloated, he takes that sexually. I'm not trying to judge, but what? What? I've never heard of this. I feel very uncomfortable by this. I don't like becoming sexualized just by eating or feeling the uncomfortable feeling of being bloated. So then this isn't a good relationship for you. It's a weird thing to be into. Don't get me wrong. He's not going to turn it. It's not going to just go away. So this isn't a healthy relationship for you, right? At that moment, you should be thinking it stinks, but this relationship's not going to work. We tried to water bloat and I hated it. I feel disgusting and uncomfortable, yet he tries to push it on me at least once a month. I also feel like he wants me to get larger and I do not. When I say no, he gets sad and says I'm not fulfilling his needs. Am I not enough? Well, he wants something and you don't. So you just aren't compatible. It's really not any deeper than that, other than he's got a very strange kink. To add context, he has been addicted to porn and this also bleeds into our relationship. So that's another thing that you didn't like about him. You shouldn't go into a relationship and find things you don't like and think I'm going to change that or I'm going to get over it. You should realize you want one thing, this person wants another. You can talk, acknowledge it and tell them. And if they aren't planning on really changing, then it's just not a compatible relationship. His kink is not going to go away. He's not going to change that. He can definitely stop forcing on you, but it's not going to go away and you don't like it. So this isn't a compatible relationship. I do care about him, but I don't know how to tell him that I feel sexually coerced. But I also personally don't think this is a means of breakup. Yes, this would be your forever life if you stayed with this person. So this is not a relationship you should stay in. It's not compatible. There's no world. The top comment is, why don't you think sexual coercion is a reason to break up? I mean, it's not even just that. There's a million reasons to break up with somebody. It's as simple as you don't work. One of you wants one thing, the other of you doesn't. That could be, that alone, that one thing, which in this case is a pretty big thing in my opinion, is enough of a reason to not be together, to not stay together. Relationships, just because they get started and you put time into them, doesn't mean you are stuck or have to commit to that. Definitely if something makes you unhappy and it's not something that can just be talked about and is a normal change. I don't believe a kink like this is a normal change. Like, I don't know if anything could change that. That's some crazy stuff I never even heard of. Then you're talking about, you like throw in there his addiction. Maybe, I mean, he could obviously work on that, but you shouldn't be waiting for someone to change for you. You should be finding someone that fits with what you are, what you believe in, what you like, makes you feel good, makes you a better person, and you see a future. You know, it might not have to be, oh, I'm getting married to this person right away, but like I want to see where this goes. I see a future here, a potential for future here. This screams zero future, zero potential of working out. And you're going to wait too long and realize it too late, and you're going to regret it. Now, to this dude, that's a crazy kink. Maybe I'm vanilla. Maybe I'm just too vanilla. I've seen some crazy stuff on the internet. I've never heard of a kink where you want someone to be bloated and bigger from being full of food, and then maybe even just like gaining weight in general. I've heard of the gaining weight thing, but like the bloat that's a unique one, man. That's something. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's crazy. Well, if you like the videos, these stories are wild. Finding them is pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy reading them, which is why I'm doing this. If you guys like the videos, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also post these in shorts on like TikTok and everything. So if you see them there, support those channels. It's weak or worse everywhere. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.